Good afternoon, everybody. This is Kathleen Bertrand with BronzeLens, and I am truly excited about my guest this afternoon. So I'm going to hang in here for a little while and just see who's joining us. Pat Fry, Armand Munoz 11. Hey, Loretta. How you doing, Loretta? William Roebuck. All right, he's back. We love you, William. Thank you so much. And so how's everybody doing? I hope you're having a good week in spite of everything. You've got to find your space there, where you can be at peace and not be disturbed by too much that's going on. And Lord knows there's a lot to be disturbed about. We've got some great news coming up for BronzeLens. Hey, Murphy Muse, glad to see you. And Swinton actress Jay, how are you? Ada Sharp, Atasha, that's it, Atasha Sharp. How are you? Glad to see you. Samara Mimi Coot, glad to have you with us. Everything is wonderful. You enjoyed last week's show immensely. Thank you, Loretta. So glad, so glad. Taharka is an amazing person, and he just expanded my mind like that. I had no concept of what else was going on. Hey, Avery, glad to see you. Thank you so much. Hair by Nathaniel, thank you for joining us. Hey, Jonathan Slocum, hey, how are you? Glad to see you. Thank you all for joining us and hanging in with us. Hey, Deidre, glad you're back. Deidre McDonald is our artistic director, and she has been working, y'all. And we have 76 films that we're going to show during this year's BronzeLens Festival. As you know, we're virtual, but we're just glad to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me see. Jonathan, let me see. Stephanie Grant. Hey, Rhonda. Edelyn 9 is with us. Hey, Rhonda. Queen. I can't read these things sometimes, when all the letters go together, but you know who you are. Queen and something else. Hey. Miss Stray Jr., how are you? Miss Billy, thank you for joining us. Tracy Rector, glad to have you. Hey, Terry. Terry Vismail Morris is in the house. Terry is our public relations director and just does an awesome job. Hey, Tracy Rector from No Ordinary Love. What? One of our BronzeLens 2020 filmmakers. Glad to have you with us. I am E.J. Little. Thank you for joining us. Love to choreograph. Thank you very much. Yeah, so this is great. I see some new names and a lot of new faces, new names, and I see some of our regulars, and we're just happy that you're joining us. So we started this program, BronzeLens Live, back in May. It was initially going to be a once a month. Then it became twice a month. And then we decided to just go weekly because there are so many fascinating filmmakers, people that are on camera and off the camera that we felt that you just didn't know about, that are part of the BronzeLens family. And we wanted to bring them to you. And so you've had all kinds of people, both in front of the camera and behind, that we have talked to over the course of our past few weeks. And our guest of honor is with us, and we're going to allow him to come in just a moment. Let me see who else is in. Miss Amanda Rosario, thank you for joining us. And Sierra, thank you for joining us. DJ Joan 0401, thank you. China Wrights, hey, good to see you again. So, ladies and gentlemen, hi, is that Texas Peach 24, TX Peach 24? How are you? I want to tell you that the person that I'm going to bring on is someone that you all know as a character that's on television last night. But in all honesty, I've known this gentleman, oh God, it's got to be 20, maybe 20, 30 something years. Marvelous, marvelous actor. And so without any additional delay, let me invite in our guest. And you can put your hands together or put little claps in the in the thread there. But my guest today is a very wonderful guy named Eric Pumphrey. Hey, how are you? Our BronzeLens winner last year. Good to see you, Eric. And there he is.
Hello.
How you doing, Keith?
I'm better for your asking.
Oh my goodness. You know, I almost started to wear some purple just for you.
Oh, wow.
You know,
at least you thought about it.
I did think about it. Can everybody hear me okay? Do I need to put on my earphones? Am I good? Okay. Hold on.
What the hell? I seem to have a
We
key.
love Keith David. That's what they say. Y'all can hear me okay? You can hear? Great. Great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey there, Bishop. Houston on the map. You can hear me okay? Very good. Very good. All right. There we are.
I wonder if it'll turn around. No?
Nope. Upside down.
Okay, there we go.
That's us. First of all, Keith, thank you so much. I know you had to travel yesterday, and traveling just takes time to get settled. So for even you considering this in your first 24 hours, I just want to say thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. I mean, you know.
I had to call on that friendship from way back and say, Keith, please, baby, please, please do this for us. So,
No worries. No worries.
okay. Okay. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about your past life while you get what you need to get, because I want people to understand and know who you are. There's some folks that really didn't know about you other than your current role. And then there are others that know you from your role with the characters in video games. And so I'm going to read a little bit about Keith, and you can just be patient, drink your water, wave at folks, whatever you want to do, because I need for them to know who you are. All right. So everybody, Keith David is our classically trained actor. Did you know that he's a 3-time Emmy winner? Did you know that? He's had 6 nominations and a Tony Award nominee. He currently stars in Greenleaf. You know that character on the Oprah Winfrey's own network. He co-starred with Chadwick Boseman in 21 Bridges, which was awesome. I'll have to tell you about a story I was going to write one year back in my 20s about gridlock in New York. So that's why I had to come and see 21 Bridges. It was in theaters last year. In late 2020, Keith will be seen in the feature Horizon Line with Allison Williams of Get Out. And he's in the midst of filming Black as Night right now, a Blumhouse anthology series for Amazon. But it's Keith's work as a voice actor that has made him a household name. His rich and powerful voice has been featured in national commercials, award shows, docs, video games, and animation. His work in narration earned him 3 Emmys for Ken Burns' Jackie Robinson, The War, and Unforgivable Blackness, the Jack Johnson story. Some of his other voice acting credits include countless fan favorites such as Rick and Morty, Gargoyles, BoJack Horseman, Adventure Time, and Spawn. In a major coup for Mortal Kombat, Keith recreates the character of Spawn in the recent update of the classic video game, and my son is a big fan. Other appearances include the Halo series, games 2, 3, and 5, the Saints Row series, games 1, 2, and 4, as well as the Mass Effect series, games 1, 2, and 3. And that's just 2 of his things. Let's go to the next part. On the big screen, Keith has appeared in the hit comedy feature Night School with Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish. He also starred in Tales from the Hood 2, which was the sequel to the original groundbreaking horror story by Spike Lee. His film credits include Academy Award winners Crash and Platoon. He's widely recognized for appearing in the highly acclaimed Disney films The Princess and the Frog. That's where my daughter knows you. Requiem for a Dream, Men at Work, They Live, There's Something About Mary, and The Thing. Other TV credits, y'all know them: NCS New Orleans, Blackish, yes, MacGyver, and Fresh Off the Boat. Earlier credits include Community, saw you in that, ER, Enlisted, and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. On Broadway, this multifaceted actor starred in August Wilson's Seven Guitars and Jelly's Last Jam, for which he garnered a Tony Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor in a Musical. And in addition to all of that, how I first met Keith David was as a marvelous, absolutely wonderful singer. In addition to his acting and voiceover work, Keith is also a remarkable singer who's touring now 2 shows. Too Marvelous for Words, a tribute to the legendary singer Nat King Cole, and a tribute to Joe Williams, Here's to Life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my friend, the amazing, wonderful, multifaceted Keith David. Yay! Hey, Keith.
What's happening?
So how are you doing? What is it like as an actor in this COVID-19 world? Take me back to March. Where were you when they were announcing that, you know, things were shutting down?
I was here in March, shooting this picture. I have 3 days of shooting left. The movie itself has 6 days of shooting left, and I was just hanging. I was waiting around. In fact, I was about to work on one of those 3 days that I have left when the company shut down. Wow. Because of the COVID. So, you know, we've been waiting these last 3-4 months to see when the industry would open back up again, how it would do that. So, you know, I'm really, this is you know, treading new territory. There have been some other independent films that have done some work. There's been some people doing commercials, mostly when you don't have to be up all on top of each other.
Yes.
You know, there will be lots and lots of adjustments to be made. I mean, so we'll see. I've been very, very careful because, you know, I have to go back around my family, so I don't want to bring nothing into the house that wasn't in there. So I'm very careful. You know, I mostly get more concerned. You know, I can be responsible for what I do, and as tiring as it gets, as frustrating as it can be, as hot underneath all that stuff it can get. Well, I mean, I'm sure that everybody living today from 2 years old has been through more discomfort than wearing a mask for however long you got to be in public.
Say that.
You know, and the truth of the matter is, you know, for all these people out there who get so tired of wearing a mask, I don't want to, you know, I mean, if wearing a mask is going to save your life, it's not a lot to ask. If it's going to save somebody else's life, it's not a lot to ask.
That's the part I think that people disconnect from. It's the not just you, but someone else too could be saved by your action.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, that's a very important point. The point is we, you know, the dual pandemic that we are suffering under as we speak has to do with our disconnection with each other. Because if you really cared about somebody, it wouldn't be a thing wearing a mask, no matter how uncomfortable it was. Now, if you thought of everybody walking out there as your mama, it wouldn't be that different, because everybody out there is somebody's mama or related to somebody's mama.
That's
And
right.
that's how we should care about each other. I mean, if in fact we want to get through this, because if we don't, it'll go on that much longer.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to get back to work. Everybody, wants to get back to flourishing. It will never be the same again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, I also have to say, for at least the powers that be that run stuff, those big men in the easy chair smoking those cigars, whoever they are, and I'm going to classify them mostly as takers, because they take from the people, but they take from the earth. How long can you continually take from the earth and she not rebel somehow? I believe that God has a hand in this. I believe that God does not put stuff on us as human beings that he doesn't also provide us a way out of. Now, the way I see it, out of, is to learn how to listen. God speaks to you all the time. Now, but are you willing to listen? Sometimes he speaks to you through the scientists who are telling you, I don't know exactly how this thing works and why, but while we're finding it out, keep your mask on. Because it's going to at least slow up the process enough for us to make a discovery about how to handle it at large altogether. But if you don't, the numbers will keep increasing, deaths will keep escalating, people will continue to get sick, you'll continue to get sick and tired, and the cycle just will, it'll take that much longer to stop.
That's right. That's right. That's why we're here now.
I mean, we've been through this before. I mean, if we've learned nothing from that 1918 experience, it's that, running before your horse to market will get you killed. When they thought they had it handled, and they went out and they had parades all over the country, another 500,000 people died. So, I mean, that's history. I didn't make that up. Right. That's not my dream. Right. That is documented. So if you see that, why would you be in such a hurry to rush back out there to possibly be one of those people? I mean, I don't get that myself. I mean, yes. People, do what you want to do. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep myself as safe as possible. And we want you to stay safe. I have to admit that I was disheartened walking through the airport because.
Really? Which one?
Which one? I mean, when I got to Atlanta was very disappointing. Atlanta was extremely disappointing because there's an announcement maybe every 10 minutes. It is mandatory for you to wear your mask when walking through the airport, and please respect your 6-foot distancing. There was not a lot of distancing, and there were plenty of people walking around with their masks down and
under the chin.
Under the chin. That's not wearing a mask.
That's not. You're right. You're right.
So, and that,
somebody's going to hear about this from this perspective, and maybe they'll pay attention to that and see that it gets tightened up because, like, for instance, I have a daughter that's about to travel in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, she bought a hazmat suit. Okay. She's kind of serious. But for all of that, if people don't have their mask on, it just puts others in danger.
Yeah,
so
it also, even if somebody doesn't say anything to you for not wearing a mask, internally people are getting angry. I mean, because again, it increases the time that you're going to have to wear it, and nobody wants to wear it in the first place.
That's right, and we don't want to be wearing it
for all the people whose lives you put in danger.
Mhm.
it's really it's unnecessary. There's a lot of things in life you have no control over. Absolutely
Mhm.
no control. You just have
Mhm.
to wait and see what
Mhm.
happens.
Mhm.
But there are
Mhm.
some things to which you absolutely have some say in.
That's right.
And when you deliberately ignore, when you deliberately go past the things that you have some say in to make your life better, and you don't, then you can't blame anybody else. That's nobody's fault
That's
but
right.
you.
That's
You
right.
can't
That's
you can't put it on God. You can't even put that on the politicians, because at least somebody's out there telling you what to do, or telling
Yeah,
you
you
how
got to
to
take some
maybe get better.
responsibility. Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
take some responsibility.
you have to
So what
take.
have you been doing during the this off time? Have you been in your creative side at all? Have you
Well,
continued to work?
I'm working on a show about Joe Williams with my partner Deborah Hall, and we're continuing to do that. It's a process. Uh,
Yes.
my good friend Richard Gant, who plays Percy on Greenleaf,
Hmm.
he's directing it. So the three of us are working very very hard, and we brought in two other people. We have Harold Wheeler, who is consulting with us, and he's supervising, and we have Ron Coleman, who is the music director and the orchestrator, and we're having it's a great time just putting it together.
So
I think
how is this
wonderful.
as is this something that you're putting to film, or you are
Yeah,
creating this to?
we want to film. We're going to film it.
Okay.
So it'll be available, it'll be available eventually to stream somewhere. And
Okay.
also we'll be, as soon as theaters are able to have us, we're going to a theater. And
Yes.
since we're such a, smallish contained shows, um, it's just me and seven musicians.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. So what about the Too Marvelous for Words? Had you already done that for that show, or
I
that
have
had
not,
already been
I'm
live?
not, I'm not finished with it. I did it last in November in New York.
Hmm.
I was supposed to do it in September in Norfolk,
Hmm.
and the COVID hit. So
Yes.
now those performances will be postponed. But
What kind of what are the kinds of venues that you love best? And for instance, for me, I love jazz festivals. I love being outside and people as far as you can see and the wind blowing and all. What is your favorite? Got to have the wind blowing. What is your
right,
favorite venue for performance?
uh, I like working. You know, it's like have gun will travel. You tell me what the venue is. We will make the necessary adaptations to fit. Because
Yes,
the main thing is to get out there and put it out there,
that's right.
and perform. I prefer some places that are, that are uh, classier. Because I like to be adult about it. I tell a few jokes and tell a few stories that are for adult ears and sensibilities, and
Yes.
so I really like a place where you come to listen. You know
I agree. I agree.
that that that's and that's and that's and that's and that's and that's part of the culture of jazz.
Mhm.
You know, you don't uh, you don't go to a jazz concert to make a whole lot of noise, and even if you sing back with the performer, you do it to yourself. You don't do it to the crowd. You know what I mean? It's
True.
just, and that's just a a cultural innovation, because you came here to listen. You came here
That's
to
right.
hear the words, to hear the music, to get into the groove, to you know, to enjoy the vibe. You know, you want, in my shows. I mean, I want you to, I want you to, I want you to continue the evening after you've left here.
Oh yes, I love that. I
I
love
want you,
that.
I want you to take it home with you and continue.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I can't wait till, till we get back to some sense of being able to do that. Um, I know in many instances, there are a few of my musician friends here that are venturing out in this place or that. And I'm just not there yet, because I've got to
Well,
open my mouth
listen.
more than they
Right,
do. They
exactly.
can wear a mask.
Please, by all means, take your time. I mean,
Yeah.
because eventually we're gonna get back to it. We are human beings, and we live and grow with human contact.
Mhm.
That's how we as people grow as human
Mhm.
beings.
Mhm.
We need
Yes.
that. We
Yeah,
need a hug every now and then.
that's
In
right.
fact, we need a hug every day. You know,
That's
uh,
true.
uh, but we also need hugs from people we don't see every day.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we want to get back to it. But if you want to get back to it safely, if you want to get back to it securely, so you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
retreat back again, because how many cities, even right there in Atlanta, you let them out too soon, what happens? And all
Gotta
of a
pull it
sudden,
back. Yep,
and this, that's an ebb and flow that does not have to happen.
that's right.
You just have to be smart. It's like, and if in
Mhm.
fact, I heard somebody on the internet the other day talking about, he said, I would rather die than be forced to wear a mask. Well,
Oh
listen,
my.
that's your prerogative. Go die by
That
yourself.
can happen.
It,
That
it
can
certainly
happen.
can. It certainly can happen, but do it by yourself.
Don't endanger everybody around you and people that have to come in contact with you and all of that. That would be, I think that's the selfish part of it when people don't recognize that your action just affects so many other people, you know?
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, you know what? Let me get on to another topic here that I know a lot of people, because when you were talking there, a lot of folks were saying stuff like preach, pastor, because you had that sound. So it sounds like you were really closely aligned with a Pastor Greenleaf character. So let's talk just a little bit about that. I don't want to spend, a whole lot of your time, but um, this is it fifth or sixth season that you're in now, Keith?
Season 5.
This is season 5. So when this started and you came to Atlanta to film, did you have any idea that this would be as running as it is?
Um, Even if you have a plan uh, to run for 5 years or however many seasons, anything can happen, and it can be canceled at any time.
Mhm.
So, I had no expectation that
Gotcha.
it would run this long. Of course,
Gotcha.
it was a job, it was a dream job for me. I used to want to be a preacher. So now you know, I'm so blessed, because every day of my life I get to do what I've always dreamt of doing as a child. I am living my dream.
I love it.
That was even deepened and widened when I got to play a bishop in a long ongoing series, because
Yeah.
now I get to have that dream and live out a fantasy about it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
one of the reasons I never became a preacher because I didn't want to be a jackleg. I didn't want to be one of those guys who talked the talk but couldn't walk the walk. And I didn't
I didn't
know it.
know
I
they
didn't
used that
know.
term anymore. I didn't know they used. My mama used to say that all the time. Jack led preacher,
my,
right?
my my grandmama used to use that. You know, I didn't want to be that kind of guy, so I never went into ministry. As it is of late, I'm taking some seminary courses right now,
Wow.
and you
Wow.
know, and largely inspired by what what's going on in Greenleaf. I don't know. I mean, I have a goal, I have a plan, and hopefully it's in line with God's plan for me. So I will complete it. I don't know. I don't know. I have no time uh, limit on it. I'd like to get it done sooner than later, but uh, you know, life unfolds the way it does. But I'm going to continue on this journey and see how far I get. Uh, but it certainly was inspired by working on Greenleaf when I got, I have deep respect for Bishop, because uh, uh, I know him to be, I mean, I know him, first of all, I know him. And he is a man that has, that he lives in the world and, always wanted to honor God and give back to what God has given him. Now, along the way, things happen and you get swayed by some things in the world, you know, uh, and they come at a cost. And sometimes, for the, because of the price tag, he had a convenient way of not noticing or looking the other way. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
so I feel that mostly his is a sin of omission. You know,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if I don't know, I can't be complicit. But he finds out later on, well, that little bit of knowledge, a little complicity goes a long way.
How about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
it will. It not only can, but it in fact will bite you in the butt. So you have to be very, very, very careful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you answered my next question, which was going to be how closely, when the series started, how closely did you align with the character? And so it's just like it's made for you. It's made for what you wanted to do at one time. So to combine that, I just think it's just a beautiful thing. And you bring so much of that honesty and passion to the character. And so
Well,
that's why
again, I have to
everybody
thank.
loves it.
I have Oprah to thank for that. For seeing it in me and with me, and Craig Wright for his vision and his writing. And we have I mean, Clement Virgo uh, has been the helmsman for these 5 seasons, and he's an excellent storyteller,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
he keeps us very honest, and I have loved the way he has led the way.
I'm behind a couple of episodes, so I'm not going to ask anything. I've got to go. I've got to go and catch up. But truly, um, when the series first started, I knew a lot of people were talking about it,
Hmm.
and a lot of people were talking about it, particularly church going folk here in the South, and their perception of what church is and isn't. And so that just garnered a lot of interest of, well, I'm not going to watch it because the pastor's son is off with, so, you remember those
As if
storylines.
that doesn't happen.
Okay,
Well,
right.
I mean, I met a pastor in the farmers market one day, and he said, Bishop, y'all are telling too much. And my response was, well, Pastor, if we don't talk about it, how will there ever be any healing?
Mm, 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 mm,
And all you could say was, "Oh, yeah, you're right." And that's, I mean, we don't talk about anything that has not gone down. I mean, all you got to do in Atlanta, all you got to do is open the paper every day. You'll see
all
something.
right, stop now, stop now,
Yeah,
stop now.
yeah, but it happens all over the place. It happens in the Catholic Church. It happens in synagogues. It
Mhm,
happens all, everywhere that there are people.
mhm.
Wherever there are human beings, there are
Humans, that's
shortcomings.
me. Mhm,
You know,
mhm,
uh,
mhm.
and then
Well, you.
and hopefully there also comes a place where there's a shot at redemption.
Mhm, mhm,
And so, and I think that that's what this is. It's also like Greenleaf uh, opens a wonderful conversation that, my God, we wish that we could have had, many, I mean, years ago. We should we wish we could have been that open
mhm,
to
mhm,
having these
mhm.
kinds of conversations.
Absolutely.
It could have saved many lives from trauma.
Mhm, mhm,
Uh, but whenever it happens, it's a good thing because at least, I mean, I hope that it gives some people who are going through anything like these permission to go get the help that's needed and
mm,
to open the lines of communication that's
mm,
needed to get it healed,
mm,
to get past
mm.
it in a good, healthy way.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
we do tend to get past it, but sometimes we will bury it with drugs and alcohol, or
Mhm,
just uh, uh, um, unruly behavior.
mm,
You
mhm,
know, behavior patterns that betray who we really are or really want to be,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
because you're so busy trying to cover something up.
Cover it up. And
It's
you
not
you
all,
guys
and
have had
it's
some
not always
amazing
it's with
topics.
drugs and alcohol. Sometimes it's with food.
Mhm,
Sometimes it's with
mhm,
sex. Sometimes,
mhm,
there are all kinds of ways to cover it up.
mhm,
And
mhm,
one way is just being a nasty person. I'm gonna hurt the world back the way it hurt me.
mhm, mhm,
And I mean, it's a way of being. It's not the best way of being.
mhm, mhm,
And in my studies right now, it's one thing, one of the promises of God. We those of us who feel uh, shame, like I should have already mastered everything. Shame. Well, you don't have to master everything, and you can't even fathom the depth and the breadth of the that God has for us as human beings.
mhm, mhm,
And if God can forgive you, you can try at least to forgive yourself. And that begins a
mhm,
pathway to healing uh, that even surpasses sometimes work you can do with a shrink. But sometimes if you need outside help, get it. There's
mhm,
nothing wrong with
mhm.
that.
Nothing wrong with it. Not at all.
That's why
Not at
it's
all.
provided.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
I mean,
And you've
I mean,
covered so many topics. You have covered, the writers have brought to the characters who have just truly embellished and been every man or been every woman. You brought topics that in Black churches or Black families, just weren't discussed, or you went to the side room or outside the parking lot conversations, as my pastor likes to say. And so your writers have done a really brilliant job of bringing these issues through. And yes, it's entertainment, but it teaches as well. And it stimulates conversation as well. And so I just applaud the writers, but I applaud you and your cast members for just such realistic portrayals. I mean, you remember we were at CNN last year and we were leaving. We had just done the BronzeLens official selections, and you
Yes.
were kind enough to do that for us. I remember one of my filmmakers wrote to me later and said, it was everything Keith David said my name. So, but we couldn't get out of the building, and everybody that stopped us was not saying hi Keith David, or hi. It was like, Pastor, Pastor Greenleaf. Hey, Pastor. And I just thought that was pretty amazing. They went right to you, skipped everybody else. Isn't that him right there? It was a beautiful thing to see, because you have made it so realistic, and how you carry yourself, you know, how you speak to people, just how you've even taught today. You carry that spirit with you.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So at this
Jalapeno.
point, Alabama, I have my 4 words that I was telling you about, and I want to make sure we get this in while we have a little time for a few questions, if we can. And I have found that there are 4 characteristics. There are more, but there are 4 that rise to the top for me with each person that I've talked to that's at the top of their game. And I want you to choose a number that will correlate to one of these words and speak to what that means in your life. The words are collaboration, perseverance, passion, creativity. So if you pick a number, I'll give you what your word is.
4.
Number 4. Ooh. You ready? Number 4 is creativity.
I think that creativity is one of the chiefest of your God-given birthrights.
Mm.
And we all have some degree of creativity. One of your jobs in this life is to find out where your creative path is. You know, I mean, God didn't make us automatons. He could just tell you, boom, that's what you are, you know, and you do it like that. But he gives you free will. So you can discover that for yourself. And once you discover what your gift is, and if you can be, you know, wonderfully skilled at it, people think because you can tell a joke and you can make people laugh that all of a sudden makes you a comedian, or it makes you an actor. You know, I mean, how many people come up to me and says, you know, oh, we all actors. Everybody's an actor. You know, my mama told me I'm funny. You know, well, everybody is an actor. ACTER. But if you want to be an actor, an ACTOR, which is a craft, you need to study.
Yeah.
You got to go get some training.
Yes. Yes.
And that's
yes.
and don't confuse the fact that you do have natural talent. Your training is not going to take anything away from that. You'll always have that, but you can nurture that garden so that you weed that garden of bad habits, and you cultivate a garden of better habits and tools that you can use, and so that you have an arsenal, because you know what that thing that we call talent or technique is just a way of working, and everybody doesn't work the same way, and neither do you always want to work the same way. You want to be able to draw from different sources so that you can always get to essentially what it is, you know, and that is serving the playwright, serving the character.
Wise words. Thank you so much, Keith. Thank you. So, my question now is, does anyone have a question for Keith David? And I'll try to catch them as I can. Some days I do better than others, but I'm on it. I'm on it. Does anyone have a question for Keith? Oh, so many folks here. Folks hope to meet you. Bishop is no fool. Interesting comments here. Hi, cousin, but we're related. I heard you used to go over to our Jenkins family reunions. You know somebody in the Jenkins family reunions?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So this person is I am Sissy 12. Says they're your cousin.
I am
And I hope to
Sissy
meet
12.
you. Yes. I
Let
hope
me
to meet
write
you
that
one day.
down.
Okay, so I love the bishop's perspective on the hard issues you can experience in life. That is B for Real Coleman. This man is the best actor. Go from being Kirby to Greenleaf. You are very good. Yeah, we know this. That's why he's here, y'all, because he's beyond good. Yeah, I know. I'll catch up. Somebody said for shame on being behind on the episodes. I have a little thing I'm working on called BronzeLens 2020, and
Hey,
I work
and
into
life.
the evening for that. And life, right? And life. But I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna binge on it. KD has the greatest voice ever. Yes, he does. Yes, yes. Um, we need to see that pastor's family to go through the the dare stuff. Is it? We're all human. Yep. Keith David is a true class act, a real professional gentleman, really sets a standard of how an actor and a person should carry themselves. Yes, sir. And that was from Real Talk Dot. And I agree with you, Real Talk Dot. I agree with you. Okay, so many comments, Keith. I'm just trying to get on down here and find a question here for you. I was there. Greenleaf indeed, Pastor Greenleaf. Ria, do you see something that you can pull up for me? Ria is our social media manager, and so she's
Mhm.
always on here with me. And so that in case there are things that I don't see. Question, here it is. So this is from China Writes.
Uh-huh.
What makes an actor of your caliber want to be a part of an independent project? Is it how heavy are the strength of the stories and who else is involved? How are those things weighed when you choose a project that could be an independent project?
All the above. I am mostly motivated by the story. Is the story any good? I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes, and I have made mistakes and done projects that I shouldn't have done because, I liked the story. I really didn't know what they were doing. So even a good story, not well told, doesn't get told, or
Mhm.
it will go nowhere because there are too many hitches in the giddy up.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, these days, it's there's an unfortunate part. Everybody with a camera thinks they're a filmmaker, but filmmaking is a craft,
There he goes
just
again,
like acting.
y'all.
Just like acting, filmmaking is a
Yes.
craft,
Yes.
and you have to study that craft
Mhm.
so you know what you're doing. It's just, I mean, the days
Yes.
of, I mean, back when I was growing up, we had V8 cameras, and there were tricks you could do with a little, you know, 16 millimeter, blah blah blah. But these days, there's too much sophistication, uh, and so there's no excuse for you trying to palm off your, you know, bad craftsmanship as something that anybody wants to see. I mean, I mean, they even have classes. I just discovered this myself. They even have classes in how to get trained in your iPhone to make it look like a professional camera.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the fact that they have classes, which also means what? Training.
That's
You
right.
get training on how to use it to the best of its ability and the best of your ability.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
the point is, listen, explore your creativity. Go out there and do, take pictures and make little mini movies. But then also, explore the craft element of it.
Yes, sir.
And because if you do that, then you have, you know, then it doesn't matter what somebody else's opinion is. You can just improve. You can improve on that, but
Yes, sir.
you cannot, you know, walk around feeling bad with your mouth full of bricks, with a jaw full of bricks, and your mouth all poked out because somebody told you wasn't good. If you never trained for it,
Yes,
it was
sir.
just wishful thinking.
We received that. Thank you. Thank you. So Rod A. Silva says hi from Brazil. He's checking us out. All right. Let me see. Jaded Beats asks, what were your struggles getting into acting?
I've been an actor my whole life. The struggle, part of the struggle is, you know, Viola Davis and I did a play years ago, and we were talking to a group of young actors, and she made a comment that I repeat often, and that is there's no great mystery why everybody and his brother wants to be an actor, but why do you want to stay an actor?
Oh, very good.
Because I mean, you know, what you see, what most of you see out, you know, you see the parties, you see the celebrity walk, you know, in front of the award shows. You see the finished product after the movie is made, or after the play is done, the TV show is aired. You don't see all the work it puts into it. Do you know, for a 30-second commercial, do you know how many days and hours are put into a 30-second clip? How many hours are put into that? Can you handle that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's craft. That is part of the craft.
Yeah.
You know, any fool can do it well once, but can you do it again and again and again? Can you be as fresh at hour 16 than you were when you walked in?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you get called in 5 o'clock in the morning, and for whatever reason, and there are a multitude of reasons, you may not get called to do the work that you came in to do and you're all made up for until 7 o'clock that evening.
That evening, that's right. That's right.
Now, if you want to complain, go get another job.
Woo!
Because there's somebody else who wants that job bad enough. They will sit in their dressing room. They will read a book. Mostly, they will make sure that they're ready for that scene when it comes up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because nobody wants to hear how tired you are now, how worn out you are now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's just the nature of the beast. You
Yes,
know, the nature of movie making, TV, is sitting around. Most of the time, you sit around waiting.
Hurry up and wait. That's right.
You know,
very good.
You know,
Very good.
one of the differences between TVs and movies, at least in a movie, you usually have a little bit more time to get it done. Sometimes TV, you gotta churn it out, get it done. You don't have all day to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that?
So I have another question for you. In the beginning, how did you ignore others' opinion of you, even when they were trying to discourage you? Well, first of all, did that happen to you?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sensitive like an old lady. Everything hurts my feelings.
Who says old ladies are sensitive? I just want.
I'll tell you a joke. Later. But anyway, you know, I'm extremely sensitive, and my feelings can easily be hurt. And I used to get hurt. They used to get hurt a lot. But you know, I don't do what I do and pursue my life contingent upon your approval.
Mm-hmm.
If you like me, fine. If you don't, okay. Somebody does. God loves me. My mama loves me. And
Yeah.
so you know, I mean, and I know you know the phrase, you know, what opinions are like, and you know, everybody's got one. You know, but you know, first of all, whenever somebody has the audacity to offer you an opinion, consider the source, because sometimes your feelings get hurt because
No
somebody said
need.
something, and it's not only don't you need it, but it's like, who qualified you to even have an opinion about this, especially in terms of how it pertains to me. You don't know me that well. You don't like me. So why am I listening to your opinion? And if I let myself get caught up in that, a friend of mine, when I was growing up, a friend of mine's father said something very interesting. He came up on us because we were sort of arguing about what somebody had said. And he's listening, and he said, well, I've heard Joel say you think and you're thinking about it? So who's more the fool, you or him? Consider the source. Consider the source.
Always consider.
And, let it, one of the reasons why I meditate is so I can deflect those negative thoughts and negative vibes. Yeah. You know what I mean? If it's something I can use, I will consider it. I listen to almost everybody. I have trouble if I feel like you're a fool, but I will even listen to that, and I will dismiss it contingent upon if I can use it or not. Because sometimes even a fool can say something that you can use. It may not be germane to this moment, but somewhere else I might be able to use that. I think it's foolish because it has no use for me right now, in this moment. But there may come a time or a circumstance where, something, I might have to consider that. But right now, since I can't use it right now, I'll see you later. Thanks for sharing.
Okay, so Keith, I know I promised you an hour, and so we are at that time. Someone says, I remember I had a chance to play piano for him at my good friend Broderick Santiago's home in Atlanta. He can sing Bessa Mucho like none other. He's amazing. So I wanted to leave those very positive words with you from one of your fans. This is I am Joey Gonzalez. And we are almost right at 5. So if you hold on for me 1 second, I just have a couple of announcements that I want to make, and we'll say goodbye together. Just wanted to let everybody know that BronzeLens, the virtual experience, begins August 11th through 16th. Our whole film festival is going to be online, and all you have to do is go to bronzelens.com starting August 11th at 10 a.m. Films all day, great powerhouse conversations each day. And I will tell you now that the powerhouse conversations, we have some very special guests. And I can't wait to share that with you next week. I'll be sharing who our powerhouse conversations are. I'm also going to take a day and just walk you through every day of the festival so that you can understand that. So I'm going to do that next week on the 6th. So please join us for BronzeLens, the virtual experience. Please join us next week for BronzeLens Live. I have a very special guest. I'm trying to see if they gave me permission to say their name yet. Not yet, but we'll put it out there. And Keith David, I love you from way back. You have been such a good friend and always open, available, and you taught us a whole lot today, my brother.
Well, I appreciate you so much.
I can't wait till we hear your next project. So make sure you let me know when it comes up so that I can spread the word among the BronzeLens family, okay?
Will do. All right.
Okay. And y'all tune in to Facebook Live at 5:30 because we're going to announce the official nominees for the BronzeLens Awards at 5:30 on Facebook Live. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. Love you, Keith.
Ciao.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.